Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Listen, before we start, a couple of things. If you want to skip through the topics, I do have timestamps in the description box and also in the comment section that you can click and navigate around. And also, for anyone that's loving the content, Falynn was such a good interview. We actually have a full interview. If you're interested in that, the link to that is also in the description box and it'll be in the comment section. All right, guys, here we go. And let me know what you think. I really want to hear you weigh in. All right, with no further ado, let's get into the mess.
Looking back, did you ever have any inkling that something might have untowards might have been going on between your former castmate and your former husband?
So I knew something was going on, but I just I didn't want to know. Did I know it was with her? Would I have ever guessed? No, especially
Why
because
not
he's
her?
so badly about her. No, but that was a tactic as well. So,
Well, but pause. You said he talked so badly about her. Describe that.
oh, he used to say specifically. These are words verbatim. Um, oh my God, who would want to wake up to that face? It's like a dog face. Who would want to wake up to that in the morning? Where to God, I put this on my mama's life. He used to say that every time we would watch, because we would watch Housewives, because I had never seen an episode of Housewives before I got in the show. So we would always watch it. We watched the last two seasons so that I can, brief myself on the show and what was going on before I joined. And he used to say that every single time we would watch it. I'm like, oh my God, who would want to wake up to that dog face in the morning? Every single time that. And then he would say it's so crazy that that's when he told me that his cousin bought her Rolls Royce, and he would dog her out for sleeping with his cousin
He said
because
his
his cousin was
cousin.
married.
He said his cousin bought her the Rolls Royce.
Yeah,
Hmm. But the guy
I don't
that
know how
bought
true
Porsche
it is.
the
I don't know nothing that comes out of his mouth, but that's what he
well,
said.
okay, so here's the thing. Again, if you believe he's well, not even a narc to someone, I guess that was his deflection to make you think that he could never, even though whatever. The guy that bought her the Rolls Royce isn't even from Nigeria. He is African, but he's not Nigerian. Does Simon have cousins that are not Nigerian but are African?
Yeah, yeah, I believe so.
Oh, okay. So maybe this is the same guy that Simon was talking about. All right, all right, all right. Sorry, I was talking about the shopping spree. That guy that bought her the car is Nigerian. Okay, fine, 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 fine. All right, that tracks. Simon was telling the truth that one time. So listen,
Maybe. I mean,
maybe, because I don't know if
they
that's his
use those
cousin.
things. Yeah, it's like he almost wanted to tell me that he was messing around with her, that he was interested in her without telling me. That's how I took it.
Yeah.
After all of this blew up, I'm like, ah. Because there were a couple of women. That wasn't the first time. There was a couple of women in Atlanta where he mentioned them, and it was like he was so obsessed with mentioning their name
Mm-hmm.
that gold digger women in Atlanta that I know of. And he was so obsessed with mentioning their names, but in a very negative light. But
Mm-hmm.
as I'm finding out things in the street, I'm like, oh, I was so naive.
Okay, but back to the original question. Did Falynn herself have any clue that there was something going on between her husband and Porsha? Let's see what she has to say.
Ooh, no.
No.
No, like I said in my previous interview that I did in June, Simon told me in therapy, Simon doesn't get caught unless Simon wants to be caught. He came
Unless
out.
I'm there.
Listen, he came out with the whole engagement of Porsha because he wanted to be caught. He
Mm,
wanted that. So he let the world
okay.
know because he wanted to hurt me. Fine, I get it. I moved on and you was hurt, so you came out and you was hurt, they was hurt. It was a mess. It was a big mess. But no, no, I did not know. I had no idea. Simon's good at what he does. And also, I'm also not the type of woman because could I have put his fingerprint on his phone while he was asleep? Sure, because Simon, when he sleeps, he's dead. Okay, I could have been found out some things if I wanted to, but I didn't want to know. You know why? Because as someone who suffers from narcissistic abuse, there's something that goes on, that little voice in the back of our head that tells us something is going going on and something
Mhm.
is wrong, we just don't want to believe it. And I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to know.
Well, here's the thing, you're not naive, but you mentioned that you went through narc abuse. I think a lot of people on this live look at narcissists as just somebody a bit of an asshole or somebody too much into themselves. Can you just briefly kind of describe what being a narc abuse survivor is and how, in a very brief way, if you can, it actually affects a person, both short term and long term?
Well, long term, it could affect not only you, but it can also affect your children. The things
Mm,
that you are used to. I'll give you not my children, because before it even got to my children, thank God I recognized it, or I learned about it.
mhm,
Going to therapy, it works, y'all. But in the media, specifically for me,
mhm,
I got to, if you guys have paid attention to anything that I've said, all my interviews and going back in the comments and whatnot, I have really been over explaining myself for certain
mhm,
things. That is actually a very big sign of narcissistic abuse. When you tend to feel the need to over explain yourself for a situation, like, oh no, but that's not what I meant. What happened was A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And because that happened, I felt this way and that way. And then this happened and then that happened. When you're sitting there and you start explaining yourself in this big, and then next thing you know, it's this big circle, that is actually a very big sign of
mm.
trauma and narcissistic abuse. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
And
So,
I
how
noticed I was doing that.
okay? So how long were you guys together before you started realizing? Because some people can be like, "Oh, you should have known better," this and that. It's like, not to make comparisons, but what's going on with Khloe Kardashian and Tristan? Yeah, she's a big dum dum. Yeah, she should have known. Yeah, she was an asshole. But the more I hear about the story, the more I'm like, "Yo, Tristan sounds like a narcissist," because the point isn't to cheat, it's to humiliate, to hurt, to do these things.
Correct.
Now, I know that I can't compare Simon and Tristan either look wise, money wise, or intelligence wise. However, when it comes to just being like a narcissist, when did you first start to realize, yo, something is very off? Like, this person is a dangerous person and I need to protect myself?
I didn't really recognize what to call it until after I was out of it. And that was after I moved out.
Okay.
But where I started noticing something is a little off was when nothing was going on between Jalen and I. Nothing was going on between my best friend and I. I'm not into girls. Like, and then, he started just throwing out that prenuptial agreement all the time. And I'm like, I don't go out with my friends. That's the thing. I did not go out with my friends. I always invited my friends to our home. So I'm sitting here inviting these people to my home to make you feel comfortable, making sure that you see everything, everything. The relationship between both of my friends are right here, about face, right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you still have a problem with it? How
Mm,
so? My friends don't even make a boo or a ball without consulting you first.
mm,
How is it that you feel so bothered
mm,
by me having only two friends that I only invite out? If I invite them out, it's with me and Simon.
mm. Okay, so he was definitely, seems like he was super controlling, isolated you to the max. I know in our last interview you said that he didn't even really want you working, but then he would downplay the fact that you weren't working. Um,
Mhm.
Okay, guys, so as you can tell, this interview is packed with so much. Listen, if you want to see the full uncut version, you can find it here. And also, I'm going to be releasing a few more tidbits just for my people that have ADHD and don't want to sit through a 2-hour interview. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Bye.